Hey, what's up, guys? It's Rico here, CEO of SourceFind Asia, co-host of the Main Cheddar podcast, and the host of the SourceFind Asia YouTube channel. Back with another one. I'm back in BGC in these Manila streets, outside Bugsy's on, what is the name of this road? It's Burgo Circle. I forget the name of the road. In this video, we're talking about shopping for apartments in the Philippines, in BGC specifically.
Water, colors, falling down the page. I thought of something, but don't know how to say. Even though I travelled on the train, even if I'm standing all the way, I'm bored of summers. If you're there in the rain,
dreaming, you won't believe it. Like when it feels new, but they're old feelings. Run flows for the whole evening. If I kick ball, I'd score goals for the whole season. Let it run like watercolours. Walk down the road and I thought of something. Real talk, I ain't talking rubbish. I've been here for 24 summers. There's a lot to be happy for here. I ain't seen you in 3 or 4 years. Came to my show and it was more clear. What I knew then wasn't what I saw here. At the end of it all, you're more happy. They say that it's just the world, but you're family. That makes my mum pleased too. You don't need me as much as I need you.
As you guys know, if you've been following my content, I've been talking about moving to the Philippines for a while. And in this particular trip, I'm here for 2 weeks. It kind of got accelerated because of the whole China coronavirus thing. I can't go back to China right now. So I decided to come to Manila for a couple of weeks and also sort of look for apartments and see them in person. So I've learned quite a bit. Today we saw units in 3 separate buildings. One McKinley Place was the first building we went to. So we went to One McKinley, we went to the Bellagio Tower 1, Tower 3, and we also went to 8 Forbeswood's place, which is like literally across the street from where we are right now. And from my understanding, for the budget that we're looking at, which is around $2,000 a month, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less, that's sort of like the average, maybe slightly above the average price of the units for a 2-bedroom place. And what you get in general with 2-bedroom condos in BGC is like, BGC is a relatively new part of Manila, so it's like most of the buildings are less than 10 years old, but they have buildings that are a little bit over 10 years old. The ones that are older tend to be bigger. So it's actually a little bit of a steal, like, because you can get an older unit for around the same price as the newer units. If it's renovated, you really can't feel the difference between an older unit and a newer unit if it's renovated and if the building's well maintained. So like the first place that we went to, McKinley Place, is about 13, 14 years old, which is considered to be an old unit in BGC. But it's very, very well maintained. Like the place was very well maintained, the building is very well maintained, the amenities were awesome, like the gym, the swimming pool area was fucking dope, like amazing view of the city. The unit itself was okay. So the unit that we looked at McKinley was around 110 square meters and it was going for 115, so 115,000 pesos a month. It can be negotiated down if we wanted to take out some of the furniture and stuff like that. So it could still be in our price range of about 2K. So maybe 100,000. We could probably get it down to 110 or 105,000 pesos a month. To think about the quality of some of these places, like that place was really nice, really decent size, newly renovated, as you can see in the video, like lots of wood panel doors and stuff like that. It's a pretty decent price. And the only negative I would say about that unit was the building was like, it's just on a lower floor. We kind of want to be in a slightly higher floor because you want to take advantage of the view. You have the view of the BGC golf course and all that stuff. The second place we went to was 8 Forbes Place, which is one of the most sought after apartments in the city, like buildings in the city. And this particular place, man, like if we don't, like I really want this place. This particular place is a bargain because it's 100,000, less than $2,000 a month. But the reason why it's so cheap is because the person that rented it basically wants to cut their lease short. So now the landlord is just looking for somebody else to replace. And I want to be that person. So I mean, this place was amazing. It's a newer building, 2-bedroom place, a little bit over 100 square meters. I think it was like 105 or 110 square meters. If you walk through that area, everything's new. The view of the city is phenomenal, an amazing balcony. The 2 bedrooms are similar size, because that's another thing that, another requirement that Nick and I have is like we kind of want some equality when we move into the places. After that, we went to the Bellagio. So the Bellagio, I've stayed in Tower 1 before. The Bellagio is also an older building. It was opened up in 2010, so like I said, for BGC that's older, that's significantly older. And what I like about the Bellagio is that there's a little bit of exclusivity with those buildings. As she told me, like in the Bellagio, there's no Airbnbs allowed. A lot of politicians and really wealthy entrepreneurs in Manila stay in that building. So the security is very tight. Actually, Forbes would as well, the security was tight. Like you have to have a security card to go to each of the, like you'll see in the video, security card to go to each of the floors and all that stuff. But the Bellagio is in that aspect, but it is tight in the sense of like they don't allow anybody to walk into those buildings. It's a little bit exclusive. You have to go up a hill to kind of into the condo area. And like I said, no Airbnbs, so it's a little bit more strict when it comes to subleasing and all that stuff. However, we went to see 3 different units, I think, in Bellagio. In Bellagio Tower 3, we went to see a loft. We really want a loft because I think lofts just like, I guess as a guy, as a young dude, like having a loft is just a dope feeling. And also it's just more spacious. I think lofts tend to be bigger than your typical 2-bedroom or 1-bedroom unit. And the separation between the living room and living space and bedroom. So the loft that we went to was a little bit of a weird setup. I'm gonna go to another couple lofts in Icon tomorrow. But yeah, the loft that we went to was a little bit of a weird setup. You had to walk through the one room to go into the second bedroom, which was just like, that's just like an uncomfortable vibe. Unless you have young kids or something like that as a family and you're living in the space, it's just kind of a weird setup. So I wasn't particularly impressed with that loft. The biggest difference between, like, for example, McKinley and Bellagio is like in Bellagio you can feel that this is an older building. McKinley is older than Bellagio, but it feels newer than Bellagio, and that's because McKinley's been very well maintained and it's run by some crazy successful management company that does a good job with that kind of stuff. And I'm not saying that Bellagio is dirty or anything like that. You just kind of feel that it's an older building. One of the units that we went to was a newly renovated place, which I kind of liked as well. The only thing I would say is that the bedroom sizes were a little bit small. And then when you have the older units, like in Bellagio, the ACs are like those ACs that you put in a window and it's a little bit noisy. So I wasn't particularly fond of that. And then another place that we went to Bellagio was a bigger space, but the bathroom was shared between the 2 rooms, which it's not a big deal, but like, knowing that you can get places with 2 separate bathrooms kind of, puts a damper on that. And those places were in Tower 3. The newly renovated place in Tower 3 I kind of liked a lot as a bigger space. Definitely felt new because it was renovated. And the 8 Forbes place was going for $2,000. All of the Bellagio places that we went to were going for, I think the loft was going for 110. The other 2-bedroom spots that we went to were going for about 90 to 100K. So basically less than $2,000 to $2,100. So
I find lots exhausted. On fire, lot to look at you. Why lost exhausted? Cause I just have to look at you.
think about this all the time. Is like the condo that I used to stay in Toronto was not as big as this place is. It was probably 80 square meters. Felt spacious, but it was small. Nice building, but it was new. That's the reason why we got it at such a bargain price. And we were paying about $2,000 a month for that place. Now that place goes for $3,000 to $4,000 a month. So I mean, the Philippines, man, it's just you're just taking advantage of, you know, the lower cost of living, getting amazing spots for good prices. And I'm super excited to rent one of these places. And I'll make another video in the future, in MTV Crib style, showing you our condo. But yeah, that's it. It's me signing off from BGC, back in the streets. If you like this kind of content, like, comment, share, subscribe.